Welcome to Wednesday Night Coffee with Collecting Chaos. My name is James, and tonight I've got some comics to show you. I got some magazines to show you, and I may even offer a few things up for sale. Of course, pretty much everything in the background is available for sale. If you're interested in it, just all you have to do is ask, and I'll give you a price on it. So let's go ahead and get started right after this. Yes, this is Wednesday Night Coffee with Chaos, and I have my coffee. Do you have yours? What do we got here? Kenneth Bird. Glad you could stop in. It's always happy to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, but it's nice to see you. Pages, Films, and Plastics. Man, it's been forever since I saw you in one of the chats. Michael, glad to see you. Sometime I will send out the things I have for you. I'm going to send them out. Maybe it'll be next week. I don't know. When I remember. And I won't forget the Fantastic Four card. So what are we going to do? We're going to start off with my favorite, Pressing Matters. Now, I have a little thing to show, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go right into it. And these are comic books that I have pressed over the last week. Some of these are for sale. Imagine that. Most of them are going in my personal collection or are already a part of my personal collection. I just took them out and haven't added them back, and I got a stray here. And we're going to kick it off with this one. Now, I don't know if I have a newsstand copy of this in my collection or not, but still, that doesn't matter. This is DC Comics Presents number 10 with Superman and Sergeant Rock. I don't know if I have a newsstand copy or not. I haven't had a chance to check. If I don't have, of course, I'd like to keep it. But if you'd like to get it, before I have a chance to check on that, all you have to do is let me know, because I'm going to try to get $10 for this. And now if I can find that little part that has there we go. That's what I wanted to see. You can claim it here in the stream, or hit me up on Instagram or my or Gmail or whatever, and we can talk about it. Next up, Superboy number 151. Now, this is definitely a part of my collection. I didn't have a copy of this. I pressed it. It looks a little bit better than it did. It's still just a good copy, but I'm happy with it. This next one is Wonder Woman number 307. Now, I have a copy of this. Is it a direct market or a newsstand? I don't know. From 1983, it could be either one. If somebody wants it, I'll offer this at $5. And the reason I'm offering them up, of course, I will not be on Horizon Picks channel this Friday. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go check him out. I mean, it's still going to be an interesting show. It'll be him and Secrets Collectibles, and they usually do a pretty good show. So, yeah, go check him out. I don't have the link handy, but I'm sure Roy will pop in later and throw it in the chat for it. And next up is Superman number 357. I have a copy of this. Again, I don't know if my copy is newsstand or direct. If it's direct, I'd kind of like to keep the newsstand, but in the meantime, I'm still going to offer it up for $5. Tales of Legion of Superheroes. This is number 316. I'm really impressed with the way this came out. I didn't have a copy of this, so this is going to be in my collection. Got Superman number 43 from Volume 2. I have a direct market copy of this. I have a DC logo copy. I don't have a newsstand. So this is going to go in my collection. And there's a lot of the Superman comics that I had from the late 80s, early 90s that I no longer have because we had a flood in 2007, and a lot of those Supermans were destroyed during the flood. Here's number 44. This is going to go in my collection. I don't have a copy of that, or I didn't. I do now. Atari Force number 2. This is also going to be in my collection. I do want to get all 20 of the Atari Force. It's not easy. They're kind of obscure sometimes. Atari Force number 9. This one came out really nice. Again, it's going in my collection. Batman number 412 in a newsstand. Didn't have a copy of this. And it does have Dave Cockrum art, so I kind of want to keep it. So I'm going to be keeping that. So Green Lantern number 161 in a newsstand. I have this. I have a copy. Is it newsstand or direct? I don't know. I'll have to check. But in the meantime, if somebody wants it, I'll do $5 on it and hope I don't have the direct market or don't have only the direct market copy. I actually think I have a newsstand. This is Whiz Kids from, or actually Tandy Computer Whiz Kids from 1985. This is the second printing. They had two printings. One was like January, moved around April. This is the second print. I didn't have this. So that's a nice thing to get, even though it's a second print. I didn't have the first print either. So yeah. I have the 1986, which is a different story. And I think the 1988, which is also stuff. We've got Justice League America number 69. I do have this. So I'd go $4 on this. It's from 1992. Hex number 13. I have a copy of this, but I have the direct market copy, so I'll be keeping this one as well. Now, I showed an Adam and Eve last week, and here's another copy of it. And I looked at this and I went, wow, that looks different. What's it? And it took me a few minutes to figure it out. The blue is a little lighter on this one than the other one I have. And this one was 39 cents. The other one was 59 cents. The other one was by a different company. This is by Spire Christian Comics. And the other one was a different name there. So even though it's exactly the same comic, this is an earlier copy. So I'll be keeping both of them. Superman Family, number 182. It's a nice thick comic. It's got 1977. Now it does have a smear here, like somebody was doing something to it. I didn't clean these. I didn't clean it, so that's not me. I didn't do that. The interior, the cover is by Kurt Swan and Neil Adams. And the interior art is by various people. Nice little crypto story. It will probably go up in value because of the movie. I don't know. Oh, $5 if anybody wants to buy it. Superman 39, I believe this is. No, 32. This is another one that was destroyed in the flood, so I'll be keeping that. Again, it turned out really nice. Amethyst, Princess of Jimworld. I think this is a better copy than the one I already have, so I'll be swapping these out. And once I do, I'll press the other one and then offer it up for sale as well. But I'm keeping this for right now. This one really turned out nice, which is surprising because it's a Charlton comic. This is Billy the Kid, number 118 in a newsstand. Uh, yeah, I didn't have this. All the Billy of the Kids I have are earlier issues. And this one turned out real nice. Very happy with the way it turned out. Now, I showed this next comic last Friday night. Or last Friday night? Or last week? Actually, I showed it last week, but I offered it on Friday night for sale. It wasn't sold. So I went ahead and cleaned it up. I pressed it. I removed the really bad spine roll. And here it is. This is Lois, Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 45. It turned out really nice. I'm going to ask $8 for it, which is still pretty cheap. It's still a low grade copy, but it's a nice flat low grade copy that doesn't have a spine roll. And like I said, I'm going to ask $8 for that. This is the last one I'm going to show tonight for the of what I pressed. This is Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan of the Apes, number 179. George Wilson, beautiful George Wilson painted cover. This is from 1968. And the interior art is by Doug Wilde. Now, a lot of you will go, well, what difference does that make? Doug Wildley is the same guy that did Johnny Quest. So to have a Tarzan story by him, yeah, that's a pretty big deal. I'm going to ask $10 for this one. Or actually, I am asking $10 for this one. If anybody's interested in it, that's what I'm going to ask for. And that's it for the comics that I pressed this week. I do press a lot of comics each week. Now I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you some new stuff that I just got, or things that I've gotten recently, including nice. I got some Golden Age bags and boards. I'm just going to show you one. But I was out of these. Glad I got them. Yeah, you can. I got a lot of those from Michael, actually. But not the Lois Lanes. I didn't get those from. I was out of Golden Age bags. I used these for the early Silver Age and Golden Age comics. And I bought 400 of them because I couldn't afford 1,000. Now, next, let's show you what I acquired this week. Some of the stuff people will have seen before, some of it they won't, because some of it has been shown on Horizon Picks channel on Friday nights. This I got today in a package that I didn't expect to get this. This was something that the person just threw in, and it's King Arthur and the Knights of Justice #2. I've never seen this comic before. And it's from 1994, and I had my comic shop there. So how did I not see this? I guess I just missed it. I will clean and press it and offer it up for sale. It's Marvel Comics. I don't really collect Marvel Comics. These next 11 I'm showing are ones that I've wanted for a while. I can read the story because I only had one issue before, and now I have the full set. And it starts out with Lois Lane #1, and this is one that I just got. I will probably press these. It's a little different procedure when you're pressing new comics than older ones. Yeah, I was surprised on that. This is going in my collection, of course. I am going to read them. I got #2, and they're all variant covers. Lois Lane #3. #4. Of course, now I want the regular covers. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Love that cover. It's just awesome. Number 9. Number 10. And number 12. Now, I put these on my watch list. The guy made me an offer that I couldn't refuse, so I bought them. I didn't realize when I bought them that the only one I had was number 11. And so I got 1 through 10 and 12. So, yeah. Now I can read them. I'm a happy camper. This next one, I got this from Mr. Yu. He showed it on his on the Friday night show that Roy does 2 weeks ago, and I went, and nobody bought it, so I went, I want it, and that is the Batman Collector's Edition. Of course, those that have been around me for a while know that I like these oversized books, and I've got quite a few of them. And this is one that I didn't have. Beautiful Neil Adams cover. Really happy to get it. And then the other ones that I got from him, from Mr. Yu, I got this one, which was Dark Knight's Death Metal Rise of the New God. I don't have that one. I have most of the Dark Knight. I have most of the metal and death metal stuff. Didn't have that one. Angel Love number 5. Now this one, this is a series that I've been trying to get all of them for a while, and they pop up once in a while. I snatch them when I see them, but every time I actively bid on them on an auction, somebody comes in at the last minute and knocks me out of it. How you doing, Patrick? Glad to see you can stop in. Yes, that is a treasury. And it's going to go in my treasury. Yep. Now, I'm currently in the process of pressing some comics for Mr. Yu. One of them is almost finished. In other words, it's almost out of my pressing cycle. And the other one will be going in my pressing cycle either tomorrow or Friday. And the one that I haven't started on yet is this one, because I want to make sure the other one that I did comes out perfect before I do that one. And so far, it's looking good. The other two I picked up from him was Superman, Wonder Woman number 18 and number 29. We need a lot more of these to finish off that set. Now, let's yeah, I'll send you a list of the ones I don't have so you can keep your eyes open. They're not really expensive, but it's just one of those. It's one of those DC comics that's obscure, and I'd like to get them all. Here's some magazines that actually I didn't even know I had these. This was a total surprise to me. Yeah, that's an early Black Costume appearance. And I will actually send it back to him once it's done. And then it can go crazy. Like I said, hopefully it'll turn out well. But I used this other one for practice, and it just came out really nice. very impressed with it. I could go get it and show you, but I don't want to disturb my pressing process. It's supposed to come out tomorrow. Because, of course, I do a hot press for 10 minutes. I let it cool down for about 6 hours. Then it goes through a cold pressing cycle. It's 48 hours long. So that's kind of, people think that's overkill. To me, no, there can be no overkill on the cold pressing cycle. And because I do that, I don't end up with wrinkles. I don't end up with waviness. And I've seen a lot of people complain. I have seen a lot of people that press complain, well, I pressed it and I let it sit for 8 hours and it was wavy. Yeah, you didn't cold press it long enough. I firmly believe in after you do a hot press, you should do a cold press for a minimum of 24 hours, preferably 48 to 64. And my total pressing time, including the hot press and cool down, is 64 hours long. So I take my time. So anyway, here's a stack of things that I've came across that I'm willing to part with every single one of these. So if you see one you want, let me know. I'll tell you the price. I do, for comics that are pre-1995, I do 160 degrees for 300 seconds or 10 minutes. Or no, 600 seconds, which is 10 minutes. And then I let it cool down for 4 or 5 hours, then move it over to a cold press. And the way I do that is I have a regular book press. I put it in first, and it sits there, and then there's 3 spaces in that, and I shift it over. Then I shift it over to my old hot press that no longer works because I've taken all the guts out of it because I'm in the process of rewiring it, and it sits there for 16 hours. And then I move it to another one. Now, when I do the cold press, let's say I hot pressed this. After I take it out of the hot press, after it's cooled off and I take it out of the hot press, I put a piece of interleave paper in the center. I put it in a bag and board. I fold the flap down. Don't tape it. I just fold it down. Then I put it in the cold press. So it's cold pressed in the bag and board. And the reason, and there's a reason why I do that, because it prevents it from let's say I've corrected a spine roll. It will prevent that spine roll from coming back because it's contained. So yes, about a 10-minute hot press with a cool down and then a cold press afterwards is a good way to go. I steam the covers of comics before I put them in because it's fairly dry right now. If we've had a lot of rain and there's a lot of moisture in the air, I don't bother steaming. It's only when they don't that I steam them, and that's basically the same as putting it in a humidity chamber, except I don't have to worry about this. Now, occasionally, when I open a comic, one of the first things I do when I open a comic, pretend this is a comic book real quick. One of the first things I do, of course, is I look over the cover and I see what needs to be done. Then I take the comic and I open it up and I stick my nose in it and I smell. What I'm smelling for is acid, is an acetic acid smell. If I smell that, I know I need to do some work to the interior comic. But if it's faint, I don't worry about it too much. However, I did that with the Lois Lane that I offered up for sale on Friday that nobody bought. Thank God nobody bought it. because when I put my nose in it, I didn't smell acid. I smelled mold. Put my mask on, took the comic apart, and started cleaning it, soaking it. I will probably put it in under a blue light. I don't generally put comics under a blue light, but I want to make sure there's no hint of that mold left by the time I'm done. That's going to take me about a week and a half to do, possibly 2 weeks. So yeah, there's a lot of different things I do. Just here browsing. Glad you could stop in. All right. If you collect toys, this is a great magazine to get. Now, this is Action Figure News Toy Review number 30. And it was a price guide. You know, they had a listing with a bunch of prices. And that's useless to you because this is from the 90s. This is from 1995 or 96, something like that. But those first few pages have pictures of toys that are coming out. And the last pages also show toys. So it's a great resource. Basically, I'm going to want about $5 a piece for this. And this is number 30. And then I have number 36, which has Legendary Journeys of Hercules. I actually have something somewhere. It's somewhere lost. It's in one of the giant tubs I have somewhere. But yeah, it's got a whole article just on those figures. Here's number 45 with Boba Fett on the cover. And on the back, it advertises the Wetworks figures. Here's number 46, and this has a McFarlane Toys story on it, and of course these, yeah, Total Chaos is on the back. Number 51. And of course, that's Q from Star Trek The Next Generation. Another McFarlane Toys advertisement on the back. This one, this next one I'm going to show you is actually, this one goes for about $18 to $20. Now, that's not the price people are asking for it on eBay. That's the price people have sold for it, up to $25. But so, you know, I'd like to get $8 or $9 on this one. But it has a full moon article. And this is number 67 or 57. And it has some neat stuff in it. I actually sold one of these a couple of years back. There's 69. That one, you know, that one's kind of in bad shape. I'd go about $4 on it. And that's all of the action figure news that I have to show you. This is Mix Zine number 2-5 from 1999. And it's mostly Japanese animation, stuff like that. But of course, it has something about Jim Lee in there, Jim Lee in Japan. And it does have some stories in it. So, I'd go $5 on that. Next one is a little expensive. This one I got to get more than, yeah. Jab Quarterly number 1. It's a $20 book all day long. course, I have to put it in the bag and forth. I have plenty of them. This sells for $20 to $25 in nice shape. This one is not in nice shape, but it is still usable. So if you wanted it for a reference, I'd go like $5 on it, because it's still a good reference guide, even though it's not in the best shape. And it has, well, I mean, it's got Star Wars superpowers, The Simpsons, The Secret Wars, all kinds of stuff. And this next one surprised me a little bit. This is actually going for about $18, which is $1 more than it originally cost. And it's the making of Godzilla. Believe it or not, people are coming to appreciate that, are starting to appreciate that movie, even though the Godzilla in that movie was nothing like the Gojira, the Japanese Godzilla. People are starting to appreciate that more and more. I'd like to get 20, but I'd take 18 if somebody offered me 18. There you go. That's kind of the neat stuff that I got. Or that I found. There's other stuff I found, but I didn't remember to get it. Oh, wait, no. I thought I'd gotten rid of this years ago, but I still have it. It's a Platinum Helena figure. This goes for about $15 to $20. I'm going to end up putting it in my background. And I have the Gold Raven. This one goes for about $10, which is a shame because originally it was a lot more than that. And then this one got crushed, and that kind of just disappointed me. You can see it again. This is the special silver edition Hangar 18 exclusive of Warrior Nun Ariella. They only made 2,000. Unfortunately, this one's crushed. I'm not going to get it as high a price for that as well. It's about a $25 figure. I do 15 on it because the damage to the box. That is my lost and found. So yeah, now we can just talk. Ask me whatever you want, any questions you want. If you see something in the background you're interested in getting, let me know what it is. I'll give you a price on it, and we can go from there. Other than that, yeah, we can just chat for a while. And I can drink some coffee. Next week, I'm going to do, as part of this, a dollar sale. I'll have a whole bunch of stuff for $1. Some toys, some comics, some cards, just a whole bunch of stuff. $1 a piece. That'll be next week, next Wednesday, and it'll be towards the end of the evening. The end of the. I'll do my regular stuff that I always do. It's a business. I mean, I had a comic shop when they were kids. When my grown-up children were kids, I had a comic shop, so they understand that it's what I do. It's who I am. They don't have a problem with it, especially since it's helped them pay bills. Like I said, they don't have a problem with it, and I don't have a problem with them either, so it's okay. It's, you got to do what you like. You have to be happy with it. If you're not happy with the way your life is going, the way you're doing it, then there's a problem. And I'm happy with the way my life is right now. Could I be happier? Yeah, I could, but I'm not in that position right now. I will be one day, and everything will be perfect. But in the meantime, I'm not dissatisfied with my life. I'd be a lot happier if I had more subscribers and more people watched my channel, but that's everybody says that'll come. Wait till you've been on for a few years. I've had a YouTube channel for almost 6 years now, or maybe over 6 years. I don't remember. I think I started it in 2018. Yeah, I've had it for a long time. I'm not over 1,000 viewers. That's okay. I'll get there one day. And if I don't, well, that's the way it goes. Anybody else have any questions? I think my daughter is looking forward to the day that I decide to give up and send her all my Barbie dolls. I've got a fair number that are worth some money. A soil spot? Not an individual spot. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Yeah, actually, I showed how I washed down a comic, and that's pretty much how I get rid of it. I sent, a matter of fact, I washed one comic and sent it to Roy. He should have gotten it today. I'm interested to see what he thinks of it. It was in really bad shape, but I fixed it up and sent it to him as a gift. But yeah, I'll do that. I'll do a video concentrating on that. There's several different ways you can soak them out. I don't recommend soaking anything that's modern or Silver Age. Rinsing those are better than soaking them. When you soak them, if you soak them for too long, the ink will just kind of float away. And that's anything after the Silver Age. You can soak a Golden Age comic for a week. Golden Age are really good comics for that sort of thing. But brown water spots, or you're talking about the brown tide marks. So there's several ways to get those out. Some people use hydrogen peroxide. I'm not a fan of that. And blue light, and that will lessen them. I prefer to use water and rinse them out. But there's another way to do it too. I'll go over that. Takes a long time to do it. I could do it here at my desk. It would involve taking some water, putting it on a cotton round, putting it over the stain, letting it sit for a few minutes with something underneath it to absorb, remove it, put the absorbent paper on top of it, try to soak out some of that stain, and then doing that over and over and over. And each time you do it, you have to let the comic dry. You can't just keep putting water over water, because that'll destroy the paper, because wet paper is weak paper. But yeah, I've done it that way. The last time I did a spot like that, it took me about 4 days. And about every 30 minutes, I was doing the procedure, and I ran out of the absorbent paper that I was using. I need to get some more. That stuff's not cheap. Most economical way to ship loose action figures or boxed action figures. If it's an action figure like this, go to Walmart, buy a box, cut the box down, wrap it in some bubble wrap, set it in the box. If you've got some packing peanuts, you can throw some of those in there, set it in the box, cut the box down to just above the size of it, and send it Ground Advantage. Ground Advantage is actually one of the least expensive ways you can ship something. If the box is over 24 inches, send it UPS. Don't send it US. Don't send it Postal Service. The Postal Service charges extra for anything over 24 inches. And that was answering this question here that I should be doing. But that's the best way to do it that I've found. And I have all kinds of boxes. I mean, I save boxes, but I also buy them. I buy them. I just bought. Let's see. I just bought 100 of these. And what this is to ship magazines. And I was putting a couple of magazines on eBay, so that's why I have one that's folded up so that I can weigh this with the magazine and the other stuff, so I would get a good estimate of the weight. But yeah, that's I have one here somewhere. Yeah, the boxes at Walmart are cheap. They're like 98 cents. And they've got different sizes, so you can you figure out what size you need, and that's what you get. Oh, I have tons of them sitting in tubs. Most of my Superman collection of toys and stuff are in tubs. Got like 4 or 5 tubs of those. I got a tub with nothing but Wonder Woman toys. I'm not in a hurry to sell that stuff. And they're not small tubs, they're big tubs. But yeah, that's probably the best way to ship them. But I have boxes ranging from I have boxes that are made just about the right size for one Hot Wheel, to ship a Hot Wheel. 2 of them fit in there better, but I could ship 1 in there if I wanted. So another way to do it is to build a box to protect the card and the sleeve, and put it in a bubble mailer. I've done that too. And then, of course, I've got these boxes. And these I had specially made for the larger size dolls. Barbie and Mego and stuff like that. They just flip open. So that I can put the doll in there. It's a nice little display case. And I ordered special boxes to ship those in too. This is one that I sent out to somebody, and it was a return to sender, and I still have it in case they contact me and say, hey, you never shipped it to me. I have proof that I did. But that was like 4 or 5 months ago, so I'm probably going to go ahead and open it and try to resell it. Yeah, find somebody that's willing to buy them, and just you might get somebody who's willing to make you a good offer. Some of them are worth money, some of them aren't. It's just kind of a crapshoot on action figures. Some action figures sell really well, some of them don't. Batman figures I do well on, especially on eBay. I sell Batman. I can sell a loose Batman figure for $10 or $15 and go to the store and buy the same figure in the package for the same price. That's crazy. That's the way it works. People will buy stuff like that. Batman sells. And plush is even easier. If you're doing plush toys, that's even easier because you kind of just push it all together and stuff it into a smaller box. Yeah, but I have boxes that fit plush too. Yeah, Walmart has the same box, same price, or actually, I think it's 98 cents at Walmart. And their box is a little bit bigger. Stuff ledge. This is 11 by 7.5 by 5.5. That's outside diameter. Or no, inside diameter. Yeah, that's inside diameter. So that works really well too. And of course, if you're selling comics, this is one of the best things you get right here. And I buy these by the 100. Plus, I reuse them. I'll reuse a box if it's still in good shape. Especially like the Gemini mailers. If I get one that's in good shape, I'll reuse it. Patrick has some boxes that are they're awesome. I need to get some of those. But they're perfect for comics, and they hold probably about 40 comics. And they're double walled, and they're just really good boxes. I've used those to send comics to people. I reuse those. Anybody else got anything? Now I got to dig out a comic that has a brown water spot so I can do a video on it, maybe tomorrow. These are, I know I've got one in here. These are comics that I bought. Well, some of them I bought, some of them I didn't. Some of them were sent to me. Yeah, that might be a good candidate. Here's something interesting. Michael, check that out. I printed this. This part is printed out. The whole cover is printed out, and it's behind this cover, so that'll show through. Thought I had one in here that had a nice big stain on it. I don't see it. Is Mr. U still here? Is Mr. U? He's still here. I want to show him this. He missed it, I think, because he'll go nuts. He doesn't take comic credit. How rude! He should. Yeah, that's not really a repair. It's just stuck in there. I haven't started working on that comic yet. I will be working on it. Yeah, I hear you. Mr. U, this Tarzan number 179. The interior art is by Doug Wildley. Let me know if you're interested. Yeah, that's I know that's cheating, but I know you're almost as much of a fan. Oh, I'm almost as big a fan of his work as you are. I had 10 on it. For you, I'll do $8. I had 10 on it. It's from 1968, George Wilson cover and Doug Wildley interior. All right, I'll put that off to the side for you. I'll charge you for it eventually, or you can just send it to me through Cash App or whatever you want to do. Yeah, I know that was evil of me to show that to you like that, but you know, us Wildly fans have to stick together. Now we'll take it out of the package. Or take it out of the bag. No question. Definitely Wildly's art. And when I said interleave paper, that's what I was talking about. I need to order some more of that. I'm not going to order the regular comic book interleave paper because it's exactly the same as the interleave tissue that I can buy elsewhere at sheets that are twice the size that I need. But they want like $25 for 50 sheets of interleave paper for comic books. Or I can get 100 sheets of interleave tissue that'll cover 2 comic books for $11. But because it says for comic books, they get to charge more. Beware. Beware of people doing things they should not be doing. Oh, well. And that's how easy it is to buy something from me on a Wednesday night. If you see something you want that I'm willing to part with. Pretty easy. Don't make it difficult. But since you're getting this, I might do a little more to it. There's a couple of little spine stress creases that still dent in. I might go ahead and try to get those out before I send it. All right. We can do that. Don't set them on the house, though, because it rains, so, you know. Set them in the house, okay? I don't know what all I need on that one. There's so many DC comics I want to collect. But I'm going to have to get rid of some more comics. I'm going to have to get rid of some more stuff. And I'm starting to think I might end up having to get rid of my Arches to make more room for DC. I'm not ready to get rid of Dello and Gold Key yet. It's a long time in the future, unless it's a double. So, yeah, it's a tough decision on that one. I do know that for this year, I want to get to the point where I have over 70% of all the Superman His Girlfriend comics. And you know, I'm not that far off, really. Got almost 50% of them. Yeah. Especially my Donald Ducks and my Uncle Scrooge and all that good Karl Barks stuff that I have. Got to keep that. But yeah, I've got. I just have so much. I'm thinking about it. I mean, that's 4 or 5 boxes that I could devote to DC Comics. So, you know. It's one of those things that it may come to that, but I'm gonna keep thinning out my Marvel comics first. I have a lot more Marvel comics that I'm going to thin out. It's going to be tough. I've been accumulating Wolverine and X-Men for so long. I kind of hate to get rid of them, but that's something that's going to come probably this year. I'll probably start getting rid of my Wolverines, X-Men. Not that anybody would really want them. You know, I might even consider getting rid of some of my 70s Marvel horror books. Some of the reprints they got. I don't understand. Oh, wait. Okay, now I understand. No, I mean, oh, now trust me, there are some RG comics that I'm not letting go of. I'm not letting go of my first published Neil Adams work that was in an Archie comic. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. Short boxes. I have plenty of empty short boxes. I don't have room for them. And besides, I don't like the cardboard boxes. I use the corrugated plastic boxes that I get from Comics Pro Line because they're a better box. And they cost not too, the difference in cost isn't that big. Yeah, there's some Archies that I won't get. But do I really need 5 boxes of them when really there's only 1 or 2 that I really want to keep? But I've got like 40 boxes of Marvel comics. There's no reason why I can't start getting rid of some of those. I have been getting rid of some over the last 3 to 4 years. Flatten them down so you need them. I just, yeah, I just get rid of them. When I replace, and I do have some cardboard short boxes still, but as I replace the cardboard short box with the plastic one, I get rid of the cardboard one. I just send it to the landfill, nothing else. Yeah, those Marvel comics are taking up valuable real estate. And I've also got a lot of independent comics that I probably should get rid of. I mean, do I really need the first published work of Todd McFarlane? Yeah, okay, I do need that because it's a really good story. Uh, do I really need the first published work of Jim Lee? Well, yeah, actually, I do. How's it going, Swamp Picker? Glad you could stop in. PTT, how you doing? Uh, color retouching. If a comic is being fully restored, color touching is fine. Other than that, I don't deal with it. I know how to do it. I don't do it. There's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Most people that do it don't do it the right way. The proper way to do it is you put a sealer over the comic that can be removed with water, and then you paint the sealer with acrylics. So it's got to be done in such a way that it can easily be undone, or you don't do it. Yeah, I got to try to sell them first, try to make some money first. But I don't like uh, color touch because most people don't know how to do it. Most people think, oh, I just take this ink pen and do this. You can do it with ink if you have a 1,000 power microscope and can do individual dots. Yeah, sure, you can do it. How many people have 1,000 power microscope anyway? I mean, nobody has that. Oh, wait, I have one right here. Never mind. But I don't use that for color touch. Um, what I use it for is checking the edges and corners for trading cards. Yeah, color touch properly done. Uh, and people do it on books all the time, not comics, but on regular books. And they're praised for the job that they do. But on comics, it's not appropriate. I don't think, with the exception of one or two people, I can't think of anybody that can do color touch correctly. There's a woman up in the Northwest, Washington, Oregon. She knows how to do it. But then she's a comic book. She does comic book restoration as a business, so she knows how. I haven't looked at Craigslist in about 20 years. I didn't know it was still a thing. Um, that's not really that difficult. You can do it with uh, using leaf casting. You can redo a corner on a comic using leaf casting, and then touch it up. But I don't necessarily. I mean, I've tried leaf casting. I know how to do it, but I don't have the right setup for it. Uh, and I'm currently still working on a leaf casting system that will work for me. Well, maybe I should start checking it. The problem here is when somebody puts it on like uh, Facebook Marketplace or someplace like that around here, they want eBay prices. I'm sorry, I'm not paying those. If I'm going to come to your house and look at your comics and make you an offer on it, I'm not going to offer you eBay prices. And if you think I am, you're crazy. Because when I buy comics, I don't cherry pick. I buy them all. So I'm going to give you one price for all of them. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, this is worth this, and this is worth this, and this is worth this, so I'll give you this for these, and I don't want those. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get one price for everything, and that's it. I get the good with the bad, or the bad with the good. The last time I went and looked at a collection, I slipped through one of the long boxes and went, yeah, I'll give you this for all of them. And there was like 4 long boxes. And I kind of screwed myself, but I didn't pay much for them, so it's not that bad. I made money off of them. So anything I sell out of those boxes now is, you know, it's profit. Well, after the bags and boards are paid for. But bags and boards aren't expensive. Not the way I buy them. Now, I've seen a few people on eBay complain about the LPP bags. Okay, well, they always split. And I think what they're doing is they're getting boards that are too big for the bags. That's why they split. Because I've never had any trouble. But then I buy only 2 sizes. I buy for the silver regular, and I buy gold. Yeah, that's kind of a sad thing when you have to do that, because that's a 10-hour round trip, and if you don't buy anything, or if you don't make any money off of it, that's $10 out of it. Roy, did you get your box yet? How are you doing? But the main thing is, did you get your package from me yet? Oh, that's disgusting. I'm looking forward to you getting it and letting me know what you think of that little extra little present I put in there. And no, it's not candy this time. I don't think I gave you any candy. I think it's still the time of the year. That and the weather has been a problem. Uh, that caused a few slowdowns. As a matter of fact, there was one place I looked on that's stated straight out that there would be delays in the mail due to the weather, which never used to stop them, but I guess it does now. Heck, they closed the post office last week because of uh, a former president who died. So they closed the post office. They never did that before. That has never been done before. They just would put the flag at half mast for 30 days. Why does that not surprise me? Yeah, I've had books go from Austin to Dallas. They go to Austin first, directly from my post office, and they'll sit in Austin for 3 days. Then they go to Dallas and sit for 3 days, and then they go to well, like in the case of Roy, then they'll go to his main hub and sit for 3 days, and now that's 9 days. He still hasn't gotten something that should have been there in 3 or 4 days at most. But generally, ground advantage is better for me because I have a post office a block away. For me to send it UPS, I either have to have them pick it up at my house, which they charge me for, or drive 20 miles to drop it off. And I'm not a fan of that. Roy, go ahead and drop your link for the Friday night sale in the comments because I don't have it handy. Oh, see, that's handy for you then. Yeah, everybody, if you're here, go to that on Friday night at 7 o'clock on the Horizon Picks channel. That's the link to it. Him and Secret Collectibles will be on, and they'll probably put on a pretty good show. If you like pops, it's definitely going to be a place to be. Plus crystals and comics and all kinds of other stuff. You never know what they're going to do. And like I said, next week on this channel, on this, I will go ahead and do a dollar sale towards the end of it. I always like that. Well, it should have been there. And it's not. Yeah, I've been getting, I get packages pretty quick when somebody sends them to me. Depending on how they send them. If they send them to me to my P.O. box, I don't get them so quick. But if they send them to my house, I get them. Well, that means you've got a couple of DVDs to watch too. So, yeah, you're welcome. I just didn't want to hang on to them any longer. You'd already paid for shipping, and it's a new year. I wanted to go ahead and get them to you. And as I remember, there was a little bit of candy in there for you too. I think Vanessa got the last of the Skittles. Yeah, somebody claimed the old one, so I had to put up. I put this one up. This advertises the 19. I think it was 1995. Oh, 1991 annuals for Spider-Man. That was before Spider-Man. So you had Amazing Spider-Man, Rugged Spider-Man, and Spectacular Spider-Man annuals, but no Spider-Man annual. So that was Spider-Man. Yeah. So that one is going to be $3 if anybody wants it, and it folds up, so I don't have to put it in the tube. I'll have a different poster up there every week. Got to have surprise. Got to change it up a little bit once in a while. One of the ways I changed it up was when I went over there and got that box and had it stuck away. So, things just kind of, I'll put them back up there later. Except that's not a Metropolis robot head. That's C3PO. Yeah, I've got two of those. That's for sale. It's 3CPO. It does look a little bit like a Metropolis head, though. You're right. See, if Vanessa knows Metropolis, that means she just out-geeked a bunch of you. Yeah, Bela Lugosi was awesome. Of course, his Dracula is the ultimate Dracula. It's the only one I watch. I do have the Dracula model by Polar Lights that was based off the Aurora model that they did in the 60s. That is Bela Lugosi as Dracula. I'm in the process of painting. And I've only been working on it for about 8 years now. Someday I'll get around to finishing it. But yeah, that's for sale. Boris Karloff, Frankenstein was just incredible. So was his. Did he? No, Lon Chaney Jr. did, or Lon Chaney did the Wolfman. Yeah, those are my movies I like to watch around Halloween. Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, King Kong, and of course, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Those are my Halloween movies. Yeah, they did. Yeah, the originals. Although, from what I understand, some of the newer remakes they made weren't that bad. Uh, I haven't seen any of them, but some people were telling me that they liked it. Well, duh, it had Abbott and Costello. I like all of the Abbott and Costello movies. I've never seen the one that I didn't. I'm actually a bigger Abbott and Costello fan than I am Three Stooges fan. Oh, I'm sure you can find a YouTube video on it that will give you all of the stuff that's not true. So, how many of you watch the not so live video I did? It was supposed to be a live feed video of me cleaning a comic and ended up not being live at all. And I ended up having to upload it because I made a mistake when I was setting it up. How many of you saw that? And how many people would like to see me do one that's actually live where I'm doing it in real time, cleaning a comic in real time? And if you didn't watch it, go watch it. Yeah, but would you like to see me do that in real time? That's the question. I'll try that again. Um, Right, I'll try it again sometime, and maybe next week I'll do one and see what we can do, and maybe offer the comic up for sale or sometime. You never know. So I could be the Bob Ross of comic cleaners. Yes. Take your happy little eraser. Just wait till you get that package. You saw what I'm sending you. You've seen it before. You saw it at its worst, and now you're going to see it at its best. Happy little cleaning wipes. There you go. Just like a little cloud. But I mean, I see people doing that live. I see people painting miniatures live, and I see people doing other stuff live. And I thought, why not show cleaning a comic live? The thing is, what I'm going to do to it is it's going to take a little bit of specialty equipment that not everybody might have. So I prefer to do, when I do a cleaning video, I want to do stuff that most people are going to have. You know, everybody can get a soot sponge. It's easy to get. Everybody can get Absorbing. It's easy to get. You go on eBay, you can buy it, or you can go to Amazon and buy it, or you can buy it directly from them. Everybody can get some of this other stuff. Not everybody can get. Well, everybody can get the items that I use. It's the way I use them that not everybody will understand or panic. One comment I got from when I was showing the wet cleaning or the rinsing of that Marvel Movies comic, the Frankenstein comic, when I showed that, some guy, as a comment, went, "So you ripped the cover off the comic just so you could clean it?" You know, of course, no, I didn't rip the cover off the comic. I carefully removed the cover off the comic. People don't understand that there's a way to do it. And square bound comics are particularly difficult to do. But with some practice, that can be done. But this is one of the items I'm going to use to fix your comic. This is one that I made. This is not something everybody's going to have. I made this myself. Didn't order it, didn't buy it. I made it. Yeah, methyl cellulose can be used like a glue. You can mix it like rice paste or wheat paste or any of those others. Methyl cellulose paste. In a low concentration, you can actually use it to strengthen the fibers in a book. But you have to use real low concentration. Yeah. I prefer to use rice paste. But then again, I have a pint jar of it that I mixed up last year. I'm still using it. I did a whole pint and I've used about that much of it. But it's all, and the best part about using methyl cellulose or rice paste or wheat paste is you can soak that section in water and it comes right off. It comes apart. So it is archival. And I use that, but I also use this, and I use Tengujo paper and or rice paper, Japanese rice paper, and I use a lot of different things. It all depends on what I'm doing and how I need to do it. If I have a little tear like this and it's a clean tear, I'll use the document repair kit. It's archival. It'll come off with water. And that's the trick. Everything you do to a comic needs to be archival, which is why a lot of the cleaning is, when you clean a comic, you're actually doing restoration. It's not conservation. You're not doing it to prolong the life of the comic. You're doing it to make the comic prettier, to look better. That's restoration. And a lot of people don't understand that. Yeah, it is. So, and a lot of people say no, it, cleaning a comic, like dry cleaning a comic, is not restoration because you're not adding anything to the comic. That's not true. If you're doing it to make it look better, it's restoration. You're returning it to its original state. You're restoring it to its original state. That is restoration. Conservation is when you're trying to make it last longer, trying to make it stand through. It's in bad shape now. You want it in a little bit better shape. So I'll use things like a water bath or a water treatment. I'll soak it in some calcium hydroxide or a little bit of methyl cellulose in the water in order to strengthen the fibers of the comic or the paper to make it last longer. That is conservation. Yes, it's additive, but it's still conservation. Whereas restoration is, I'm doing this so I can get a higher grade. That's restoration. I don't care what anybody says. That's restoration. I have some very, very strong views on that. And I do both. I do conservation. I do minor restoration. I call them repairs, but it's still a type of restoration. A minor repair is a restoration. I'm adding something to make it look better or to make it work. That's true, but in the forms that I have, you don't want to eat the methyl cellulose. I don't have the eating kind. I have the fixing kind. But methyl cellulose is used in preparation of some foods, in particular like gelatins sometimes. But what I have is not a food grade methyl cellulose. Mine is more it's a chemical grade. I buy it from the chemical warehouse. Same place I get my calcium hydroxide from, and a couple other chemicals that I use. What really got me was I have two big long boxes, and they each have a roll of paper in them. And when they were working on my house, they said, "Do you want us to throw these away?" And I went, "Do you want to give me $150?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Each of those rolls cost about $75. So if you want to give me $150, you can throw them away." Yeah, they were real kind to them after that. They did not throw them away because one is Hollytex, is a roll of Hollytex paper, and the other is a roll of Tengujo paper, and those are really expensive papers. Yeah, mix it with warm water, by the way, and you get it better, a little bit better viscosity. It works better if you mix it with hot water. Yeah, yeah, I remember those. Definitely chemical. I've got some bubbles somewhere. Yeah, it was a type of plastic. I'm sure we all chewed on things we shouldn't have during our lifetimes. It's just, if you're young, you don't think about stuff like that. You just do it. You don't find out till later that you poisoned yourself. I remember when I was really young, you know, you go to put a lead weight on a fishing line, and you stuck it in your mouth and crunched it with your teeth to close it. Didn't think anything about it. You know, you can't do that. You can't even buy lead weights now. That's it's interesting what people, what we do, and what we did. I've got, I have miniatures in my other room that I can't even sell because they're made of lead. You're not allowed to sell them because they're lead. I can sell them. I cannot sell them online because they're lead. I thought about listing them as a base metal miniature and not mentioning the fact that they're actually made of lead. Yep, no parachute trooper guys have done. Yep. I did find some of my D&D stuff that I forgot that I had. That's not bad for you though. Well, the food coloring might be, but the actual dough wasn't bad for you. I mean, that's you can make that in your kitchen. Yeah, you can make Play-Doh in your kitchen. Basically, flour and some other ingredients. I think about the worst thing I ever did was I was painting some miniatures and I had my cup of coffee and my water for cleaning the brush and reached over and grabbed the wrong cup and took a deep drink out of it and spewed it all over the place. And that wasn't fun. Uh, it's also the last time I ever used a coffee cup for water for my uh, painting. After that, I never did that again. I always used a little bowl or dish or something. No, the ink was not tasty at all. Uh, and yeah, very messy. But I'm old enough to remember fountain pens. One of the first pens I ever had was not a ballpoint; it was a fountain pen. Talk about messy. Oh, that only happens if you're wearing khaki or white pants. Yeah, I've sent everybody's stuff out, um, except Michael's. Michael Marin is the only one I haven't sent out yet. I'm going to send that out pretty quick here, this week or next week. But everybody else I've sent out, I don't think I have anything for anyone. Yeah, everybody's is sent out. Everybody should get their stuff soon if they haven't already. I'm going to check that real quick. Of course, I know Roy didn't get his yet. Let me look here. See where we are. It wants me to verify I'm human. Yeah, everybody's stuff is still in transit. But everybody said I sent out when I sent Roy's stuff has been received except for Roy. I don't understand. In transit to next facility, arriving late. Yeah, extra blue denim. Like I said, the only time I ever had an ink pen burst in my back pocket was when I was wearing a khaki pants or white pants or some other light colored pant. Used to make me mad. Although, no, I remember I had some green pants that I really liked that I had a pen burst in. It was back in the early 70s. Long time ago. Big pins were still kind of new back then. All right, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I showed everything I wanted to show. I was happy to get what I got. And we'll see you. I'll see you in the chat on Horizon Pix channel on Friday. I won't be selling, but that doesn't mean I won't be there. Maybe I'll throw in that info. I don't know. Maybe I'll just send the info over to Roy so he can do it himself. We'll see. But everybody have a great week. Make sure you stop into Horizon Pix channel on Friday night for his comic shop sale featuring him and Secret Collectibles. And we'll see you in the chat over there on Friday night. I don't know if I'll be there the whole time, but I will be there part of the time at least. And everybody have yourself a great week, and I'll see you next week or on my next video, whenever that happens to be. Who knows? Maybe I'll go live Saturday and clean a comic. We'll find out. Have yourself a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.